Hi, everyone. Good morning. How are you today? Hi, Holly. Hi, Roberta. Hi, in the bushes. Hi, Seal. Good morning. Hello, hello. So, guys, we have a ton of information to get through. As you know, we are deep diving into these documents, so I'm not going to small talk too much. I um, do have to work this afternoon and all the things. So we will do this. How's everybody's day been so far today? Let me pull up. I'm curious if you guys want to, other than just looking at the interviews, if you actually want to listen to it, before we even go into this next page where we start talking about Stephan's second interview. I figured that we could actually listen to the first interview. So I am going to pull up the audio for that if you guys are interested. Let me see here. Hi, Dina. Hi, Ocean Tide. Busy, busy. Hi, Kim. Sorry. Just pulling this up. Trying to find who has the best audio on it. It seems like there are a lot of people who have uploaded it. I'm going to go with Court TV, I think, though. So this is the interview that we read the little bit of details about yesterday. So this will kind of refresh you before we go into today's interviews. Yeah, cray cray. It really is beyond. Hi, Cooter G. Morning, BC. Okay. So this is from Court TV. This is the February 27th interview that we're going to listen to first.
Found all of those images on the phone of Stephan Stearns yet. Let's take a listen.
I know that you already spoke to the other detective, right, about everything that kind of happened today. If you can just kind of go over it with us one more.
I want to volume check first. Is a volume good for everyone? If not, I can always audio boost.
More time, the timeline from like when you guys woke up and took her to school and all that.
So we woke up early. The plan was that we were going to get McDonald's breakfast on the way, so we made amazingly good time.
I don't mean to interrupt you, okay? Neither of us were here yesterday, so if you can be kind of like specific about like times and stuff like that, okay?
Woke up around 7:15, somewhere around there, which is an early start for us, but we had talked about getting McDonald's breakfast beforehand, so we wanted to make good time. We did make good time. We got out the door maybe 7:30, 7:45-ish, maybe. Got over to that area. She was asleep in the car most of the time, just snoozing until we got there. We got to McDonald's, or close to McDonald's. I said, "Do you still want it?" She wasn't interested in the McDonald's anymore, so we continued on. And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. She prefers her mom's car, but my cars are, I guess, kind of hoopties. I get it. It's an image thing. But that was sometime probably between 8:20 and 8:40-ish. Somewhere in there. It was along the stretch of the road that on the right side that has all the communities on it. Mm-hmm. Before you get to the overpass. You could see the overpass from where it was. Mm-hmm. So it was on that side, on that stretch of road, and that's where I dropped her off. She said she was going to go wait for her friends. She was going to go find them and hang out and wait for her friends. And I asked if that was going to be okay. She said, "Yeah, it's fine." Kids get dropped off early enough as it is. It's not totally unusual for that to happen. It's just not usually that early that I drop her off. I do school runs every once in a while for her. I said, okay, let her out. Have a good day. Love you. Thanks. Love you too. And I turned around and was driving away and was watching her in my rearview mirror to make sure that she was going where we were supposed to go. And she was moving in that direction, but she was rummaging around in her backpack for something. What I assumed was probably headphones or something like that, but I found out later that she forgot her phone here, so she may have been rummaging for her phone. But she was still kind of making her way towards that direction, so it looked okay. It looked like any other day. And I just continued on.
After you dropped her off, what did you do?
They had talked to her for a minute. I made sure, is it all right that you're going early? Because it was still early. She said, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to hang out and wait for my friends to get there, which she does sometimes. So it didn't sound, outrageous or anything. And that was it. Told her to have a good day. I loved her. She told me she loved me too. I turned around to leave, and I was watching her in my rearview mirror. And she looked like she was walking in the right direction. She was rummaging in her bag a little bit, like I said, but still sort of just shambling in the right direction while she was doing it. So it looked normal. It looked okay.
Okay, and then what did you do after you left the area?
I left to go to the local vape shop because I needed some more vape juice. They weren't quite open yet, so I ended up going back home, waited about an hour or so, and then went back and checked the vape shop again. It was open, so I got what I needed there and came back.
Do you remember what time you came home?
The first time was probably right around 10, close to it. And then I waited here and went back to the vape shop. Probably finished at the vape shop and came back home again a little after 11.
And then what'd you do after that?
I had a couple errands to run over on 192. She was talking about making a BJ shopping list. She just wanted to make sure I was back in time for us to both go pick up. So I was visiting some card shops around the area on 192. I'm kind of a nerd, so we had a new trading card game release, and I was seeing what the situation was with it.
Do you remember what places you visited?
Yeah, Coliseum of Comics. Stopped by a couple Targets, and I was going to go to House Rules Games down by Oak and 192. But I didn't make it that far. I got a flat tire on the way.
Do you remember where you got your flat tire?
It was on 192. I pulled into one of those plazas somewhere. It's been about 10 years since I switched out a tire, though, so I made a lot of rookie mistakes and ended up pinning my thumb between the frame and the jack. Yeah, I'm lucky it's not a lot worse than it could have been.
Do you remember the name of the plaza by any chance? Do you remember what stores were in this
It was like right before you got to Oak, though, so it was one of those little strips.
Okay.
I don't know, you've probably been asked already, but she's never ran away or been away for longer than a certain period of time, amount of time.
No, she's very dependent on us. I don't think she'd know what to do if she did run away. She's not the type. She's a good kid.
Besides the ADHD, is she diagnosed with anything else?
Yeah, she was tested a while back and had some symptoms of autism, so she's potentially on the spectrum there.
Okay.
She was officially diagnosed with it when she was younger, and then she was retested and said, well, she shows symptoms of being on the spectrum, but maybe not full-on autistic.
When did you come back to help Pardon?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Because you lived down south, right? When did you come back up north to help her?
I just got here this weekend.
Do you remember what day it was?
Sunday. Sunday was her birthday party, so yeah, it was the evening after her birthday party. Sunday.
Okay. Do you remember what time you got here on Sunday?
8:30ish, maybe.
Okay.
some time to make sure that she was doing all her nighttime routines. I'm waiting for her mom to get home.
Did you guys go anywhere last night? Was that media?
Maybe. I think Fox 35 or something was coming.
Let me, if it is, let me tell him to keep it.
Okay.
I don't recall. You have to ask her if we went anywhere. I don't recall. I was so zonked out on Ativan at that point.
Okay.
I was a wreck.
So the whole situation, like how calm he stays throughout the entire interview, it's honestly, it's extremely disturbing. Um, and then the details that he doesn't want to tell, like where they went, what they did, that makes me question again, what were him and Jenn doing? Why is it so shady, his involvement, or why can't he recall his involvement with Jenn? Was he an autopilot because of the activities of everything that he had done that day? And so he literally was just in a fight or flight mode and does not remember? Or is there more to it? Is there more to the details? It's all very weird. Yeah, her nighttime routines, which are what? It's just it's disturbing.
I don't.
And this would have been when?
I don't recall us going anywhere last night, but honestly, at that point, my brain was mush, and I was on so many tranquilizers to keep me stable. It's just.
You said Ativan?
Yeah.
You make a U-turn, you go back to the McDonald's. But you said that she still doesn't want the McDonald's.
Still doesn't want it. She was just going to eat the Danishes that I had given her.
So you're going up here now, still northbound on Jonghyun Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
You make a left at Town Center this time.
Town Center, then make a right onto, yes.
And then you drop her off around like...
Dropped her off around halfway up the road there.
Okay. So keep in mind, all of this is still northbound.
Okay.
Right? You're still northbound on Jonghyun Parkway.
Northbound.
So why is your car seen going southbound at 8:10? I'll show you what location it is. McDonald's is over here.
Mm-hmm.
At 8:10, your car is seen going southbound at this intersection. So meaning going toward Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm. I had forgotten I had forgotten my gate clicker. I'm sorry. I forgot. I had gone back to the house real quick after we left because I forgot my gate clicker. I actually had to go through the front gate and use my parking pass to grab my clicker. So it was the wrong time. I'm sorry. Like I said, I was guesstimating these times. I'm not a morning person.
I don't think I have any other questions. Do you, Louis?
I don't know where my head was yesterday. It was so far up my backside.
That's okay. We understand. In the meantime, while we're waiting for all this to get sorted out, I am going to hold on to your phone, okay? I'll give it back to you when we're done.
Okay.
Okay? Do you have any questions for us?
How long are you gonna need my phone?
I'm not sure. I'm waiting for my supervisor to call me.
My dad. No, it's just my dad's using that to get a hold of me and get updates.
They can call Jenn's phone.
Okay.
Did the other detective give you his business card?
I believe so.
Okay, well here's mine in case you want it for any reason.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you swear that everything you told us is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. I know it's a little hectic right now.
There's a lot in there. There's a lot. Let's get to some of it, but I need some help. Let's bring in our special guest. Joining us in Orlando, Florida, WFTV investigative reporter Shannon Butler. Also with us, editor of the Osceola News Gazette, Ken Jackson, and board-certified forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, and columnist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. And finally, distinguished scholar of applied forensics, host of the extremely popular Body Bags podcast, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, Joseph Scott Morgan. Great to see everyone. Okay. I know everyone's been listening and going through it. There's tons of papers to go through as well. A busy day. We appreciate everyone being here. Shannon, I'll begin with you. Couple of things that he's talking about in this timeline. It doesn't jive with some of the other evidence here.
No, and you could tell that the investigators already knew that during that questioning. They had already tracked his car and where it went. They knew that where he said he went, he wasn't. He wasn't at Target. He wasn't at the comic store. He wasn't any of those places. They knew because they already had trackers and license plate readers and all sorts of things that tracked his car.
So what she's saying is basically what we talked about yesterday. They they were on to him right away. Right away. Yeah, he knew he was busted once they got that phone. I, it's just mind-blowing. You have to wonder like why people think they can get away with stuff like this. I know that there are crimes that are unsolved. I know that there are people who have not been arrested yet for things that they have done. But most of the time, these guys get picked up. They get they get they get caught. They get busted. They make stupid mistakes and they get busted. And thank God that most criminals are idiots, right? Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for 14 months. Well, I just I don't know. So, let me see here. I want to pull up the body camera footage because a couple of you guys were mentioning the body camera footage and how calm. Happy 14 months to you too, Rexy. Some of you guys were mentioning how calm they were in the body camera footage as well. And so let's take a look at that also before we start watching this or start reading day 28 or February 28th. Yeah, because he thought he factory reset it. He thought that mattered. But it don't. I mean, even Timu knows if you factory reset your stuff, imagine the police are all over it. Some get by with their crimes for a while, but this guy was just dumb. You couldn't get away with stealing a pack of bubble gum, and then these people try to get away with this. Their screws are definitely loose, right? It always catches up with you. If it's not in the justice system, while you're still alive, it'll catch up with you regardless. So this is the body camera footage. This is credit to Plunder. I just dropped her link in the comments there. She does have the body camera footage. Let's see. Does she talk through the whole thing now? Hold on. Let me see if I can find the one where she uploaded it with just the video. I think it's this one.
Videos. First, let's
Yeah, this one's the video. Okay, so let me share the link to this one. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong one at first. So disgusted with this case. You do think the mom knew? I think the mom knew about the essay. I don't know if she knew about him killing her. I do think that I don't see how Jenn couldn't have known about the essay. Let's put it that way. I guess that there are teens who go through this in their life. There are children who go through this in their life and they never confide in anyone and they never tell their families what happened. I can believe that the extended family, like the people who lived outside of the home, the aunt talked on Nancy Grace last night, which we can watch that today if you guys want to as well. She was talking on Nancy Grace about how they had never suspected anything, that Maddie had never told them anything about the essay that was going on inside of the home. But that's people who probably didn't know that they all slept in one bed, right? That's people who probably had no clue that Stephan was being sent to a bedroom alone with Maddie. That's people who probably had no idea that was happening on a regular basis to begin with. And so I could see her not confiding in people and not coming forward about the abuse because a lot of children who go through SA and who go through different types of sexual abuse and regular abuse even, they never tell anyone. They do keep the secrets. They don't speak up. And so I can understand how the extended family did not know. I can understand how maybe the close friends were never told. However, what I don't understand is how mom didn't realize. That's baffling to me. How mom just sent her to this bedroom with him on a regular basis while she was on again, off again with him, while they were together and not together and things like that. It's okay, Lip Black No More. I totally understand. It is. It's a very triggering case to a lot of people. And I totally get it. I know whenever she first went missing, I made the original missing videos, and then I struggled to talk about this case on a live because the details were just so upsetting. Just honestly upsetting because of, like you said, past traumatic experiences and things that I know people have gone through in my own life. Yeah, it was her normal, so why talk, right? What goes on behind closed doors. Hi, Angela. So this is the plunder body camera footage, though. This is from the evening that this is from, let's see here. Looks like the date says the 27th. This is officer number 2, so.
Footage from the night of Monday, February 26th, 2024, when Stephan
26th. Okay, so the date must be wrong on the body camera footage. So let's just take a look at this, though. This is plunder again.
Stearns and Jennifer Soto talked to more than one officer about Madeline Soto going missing that day. As you guys know, even though I put in a plethora of public records requests with police, I received 8 videos from the YouTuber named The Docket from police. However, eagle-eyed viewers have noticed that the all-important body cam video from the second officer who speaks with Stearns and Soto was not in that initial batch of 8 videos. First, let's take a look at what was sent directly from the assistant records custodian of the Orange County Sheriff's Office on Monday, June 3rd. Let's see what the data and viewpoints tell us about how many cops responded that night and whose footage we're missing. According to an camera video picks up a
That's what I'm about to see. I'm about to go check. I just try to get as much information now of her clothing description. Send it to Diaz. Diaz has a hit in like a big area full of kids. So if you want to help me out with this one, my signal is actually.
Angela, I'm not sure if you watched yesterday's video, but Jenn Soto tells police that they would either sleep the 3 of them in the bed together, or whenever she needed to sleep in or needed extra rest, she would send Stephan and Maddie up to bedroom number 4 to go sleep with them.
What? By any chance, does she have a phone number or a phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I've already gone through her messages.
Okay. How about, does she have like Apple Watch?
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school laptop.
Her school laptop? Is that trackable?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
If the Wi-Fi is turned on, it'll try to connect to the Wi-Fi.
So by like circle here.
Okay.
Well, does she not have a history of running away or anything?
Never.
She was hanging out in the bus.
I don't. Possibly, I don't know. She got dropped off. She was like, so she's embarrassed by his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an image thing. She's in the face.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she ever went to school, I think that's what
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it. But I also spoke to her or emailed one of her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance for all her periods and told me she didn't make it at all today.
Okay.
Say it again? No, she's supposed to have a book bag. She was supposed to go to school, but didn't go to school today.
Good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Battery FGOA 212319 Turtleback Loop. Third party for Saturday.
Okay.
Complaint
All right.
Children
Cool.
by two juvenile males. Requested 1045 only. Answer code 21945.
I'm trying to figure out secondary spots, but so far negative on anything. Yeah, you could be 51 to me. All right, cool. 34 too. All right, cool.
This time, by the time he walks to re-enter the building, another officer is clearly displayed in front of him at approximately 7:49 p.m. according to his phone, or 7:45 p.m. per the body cam time, with the other officer approaching the building first. That officer can be seen to his right, taking notes on a notepad, clearly wearing an Orange County Sheriff's hat and potentially a body-worn camera device on him. He remains in the room talking with Jenn and Stearns as the officer number one steps out. Notice that there are certain vantage points from the second officer's missing body cam videos that we have yet to see. We don't see that close-up viewpoint of the pad he's writing atop, and later we won't see his head-on view of handing Stearns a phone. At 9:04 p.m., officer number one is traveling with Stearns as he lies to the cops about where he supposedly dropped Maddie off that morning near Peace Church. In his footage captured in the video titled Redacted Extraction 1.1 Missing MP4, we see another cop hand Stearns what looks like a phone. But where is that officer's footage? And whose phone did he hand to Stearns?
So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this stretch, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's the school?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
By 10:28 p.m., officer number one is reviewing surveillance footage at Peace Church, as seen in the video file named Redacted Extraction 3.1 Missing MP4. By 10:32 p.m., officer number one is talking with folks in the church, then walks outside to speak with Jenn's sister in the file named Redacted Extraction 2.1 Missing MP4.
Yeah, there's 2 roommates that live there also. There was other people there, and that's what I don't understand. Why is there a spare bedroom and she is sleeping in the room or in the living room rather than rather than um rather than having bedroom 4. The only thing that I could think of is if the house itself is rented out via each room. And that she didn't want to she didn't want to pay for more than one room, essentially, or more than 2 rooms. I don't even know. More than 1, I guess it would be. So, like, it's like a home with a shared space. And so in that aspect, I could understand why Maddie didn't want to sleep in the public living room, the shared living room. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Um, but still to send her to sleep with Stephan, it's just I no. He could have slept in the public living room. She needed her privacy. Period. Second, I'm going to pull up him in the police car because he is just super calm in the police car as well. Yeah, this is from phone calls with prisoners. Yeah, she may have been renting rooms, Airbnb style. Right. That's why I was comparing it to like those college apartments. How like college apartments yesterday we were talking about how you'll have like the room that you rent and then the room that the somebody else rents and then the shared public living space would be like the kitchen, the living room and things like that. And it sounds like they made the shared living space Maddie's bedroom, which is why she was choosing to go sleep in the bed with Jenn most days. But even if Jenn was home with Stephan in the bed with her, Maddie still slept with them. She never slept by herself, from what Jenn says. And then on days that Jenn wanted to sleep in or needed space, she would send Stephan and Maddie to go sleep in bedroom 4. It sounds like bedroom 4 to me is a room that's maybe not being rented out that they would just utilize sometimes. Right. One of the roommates had a 15-year-old son. If you missed the live stream from yesterday, I strongly encourage you to watch it because a lot of this conversation we had yesterday. So this video is from phone calls with prisoners, and they posted the video of Stephan actually going to jail or to the police station here. Let me.
I'm gonna make it warm for you, okay? You're welcome. Can you feel that? Okay. How's the temperature feel? Better than it was. Okay. You're welcome. Don't know why they don't do that. You know, why don't they just kind of like at least give you a blanket?
My core temperature was down. The temperature was like a degree or two lower than it should have been.
Wow.
Regularly sleeping on bare metal. The first night I was on concrete full of the roll of toilet paper for pillow, nothing else. Begging for a blanket or a pad to sleep on for 2 days. I think they were supposed to do something like that.
Oof. That sounds rough, man. Please forgive my cough. Been trying to get rid of it for the past like 2 or 3 days, and prior to that, I had a really bad cold. And
I always found Ricola honeys, honey Ricolas.
you know, I like those, man. But have you ever tried the berry ones? The Ricola berry? Phenomenal. The Ricola berry ones, they almost taste like candy.
Yeah, careful. Honey ones are the same height.
But once you get to the middle part, it's rough though, because like it's got a punch. You're talking about the ones that have like the it's like a gooey menthol inside of it.
Solid ones are just the honey.
So you haven't had the ones that have like the gooey part in the inside? Those are good until you bite into it and you're like, whoa, like it's a burst of like menthol. Yeah, it is. It is. I just got the regular Halls cherry. It's what I find at 7-Eleven, so.
I've never been one for cherry coffee.
Really?
This tastes too medicinal.
I can't get my kid to drink medicine. I gotta like mix it in his orange juice. For real, I gotta like literally like here drink orange juice because it's good for you. It's vitamin C, and you know, because he'll literally like not drink his medicine like at all. They're not too tight, are they? You're welcome. You feel your body get back to a normal temperature? Yes, sir. What kind of music you like? You like classical music? Huh. You're the first person that's ever said classical music. Yeah. Classical. Like what? Like give me like a classical song or You're the first one. I've never had anyone tell me classical music. And I actually like classical music. I do. I've never been to like an orchestra or like a concert like that. I've never been to one. Yeah. You're actually right, because let's say it's not a newer song, but let's say November Rain, right? By Guns N' Roses. What Slash does with the guitar towards the end of that whole track, he literally makes that guitar cry. Like, it's one of those moments where you're like, wow, wow.
Slash is amazing. Like a lot of classic rock.
I like Metallica. Metallica is my all-time favorite.
Queen's a big one for me too.
Queen is, yeah. I haven't seen that latest movie with like the guy that was on the sitcom. I haven't seen the Queen movie yet.
It's actually it's a great job.
I even like Linkin Park. Well, he followed on the same lines as this guy from Soundgarden. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. And then when he went over to Audio Slave, you ever heard Audio Slave? I mean, Audio Slave came out with like one album and they just crushed it. But classical music, wow.
Sometimes have trouble remembering the names of the tracks.
You know, the one type of music I never got into was country.
Sounds too much alike.
I just can't relate to it. I grew up in the city, so not much that I can relate to driving a tractor and stuff like that on some of the songs that I've heard. You grew up on a farm? Wow.
Love-hate thing. So we have horses and sometimes we pick, a dozen stones every day. 10, 11-year-old kid. Once pushed away, we had this dumpster with a ramp that we pushed those floors behind until we pushed it and the girl tipped over and took me right with it into the dumpster full of horsepower. Luckily, it's just mostly grass and hills, so it's not.
But it stinks.
Yeah.
Well, why did you work there? Was it like your family's farm? So you're from Georgia?
I've been all over. I was born in Illinois. Lived in Georgia, Florida, California, all the time. Rotation for most of my life.
See, I was born in Puerto Rico and then I was raised in Boston. So, hey, it was. I mean, I didn't grow up in Puerto Rico because my mom left there when I was 2. And I grew up more in Cambridge in like Boston area. So that was like a big city, projects and That's
interesting vocals.
it's definitely different. Definitely different. And then I moved down here. So San Diego area?
A little further north of that, towards the Good Beach. So like Newport.
California is nice. I've been there twice. I've been there twice.
Weather's always really nice. So I lived there for a year, so I'm nice too. Beaches are just amazing. Pacific water, cold is cold.
Oh yeah, there's no warmth to that water at all.
Muscles start to seize up.
So once we get here, I gotta go into the interview room and I gotta do the arrest affidavit. Basically, you have two warrants, so I'll let you know what those are.
Can you imagine? Like, props to this guy for being able to drive him the whole way there and not be rude. He didn't, be disrespectful to him. He didn't treat him poorly. He he literally just did his job and took him. That would be so hard. I could never. I could literally never. Like, props to the sheriff for being able to, because I could literally never. Not knowing what this monster did, not knowing what he was being arrested for. These police officers that deal with these crimes on a day-to-day basis, God bless every single one of them, because I could never. Yeah. You gave Jen the benefit of the doubt in the beginning because we just didn't know. And now she gives you the ick just as much as yeah. He's just sitting there chatting away, right? When he knows what he did and he knows this cop knows what he did. I mean, they talked about freaking cough drops. It's just so, like, wow. It's just so wow. Let me see. So I mentioned that there is also a interview that took place with Nancy last night, or whenever it aired last night, I guess I should say. Um so she had on the aunt, Maddie's aunt, and talked briefly about the abuse. So we're going to go ahead and watch that too, for those of you who have not seen this yet. This is Nancy Grace. Pull this up, put it right there for you.
Us. I really appreciate it. In the last days, I've been reading all the new headlines, and we went further and there's a 900-page document that I have been, wading through.
A 900-page document. That's what we all have gotten access to at this point. It's It's a lot of information. It's a lot. I mean, in these documents, we're gonna hear from Jenn next, I believe. Stephan Stern's second interview. We're gonna hear about whenever they show the photos to Jenn. We're gonna see interviews from Maddie's closest friends. We're gonna see interviews from her family. All of this different information is inside of these documents, as well as, every formal piece of paperwork that they have to um, put out, all the different warrants and things like that. It's all in here also. The incident reports, um, just a lot of filler space too, but also a lot of very disturbing, very upsetting details. And again, we go back to they were on to him right off the bat. They knew right off the bat what was going on, and they were able to arrest him quickly because of that. Whenever it comes right down to it, I I suppose whenever you think about Jenn's role in this, she could have lied to police. She could have lied to police and said, "How's that possible? He's never had access to my daughter," any of those things, but she honestly didn't think there was anything wrong with telling police that they shared a bed and that she had him sharing a bed with her. She saw no issue with telling police that. And so, if anything, I'm frustrated and I still think, like, how could you not have known? But was she that clueless? I mean, she had no issue telling police. If she was literally trafficking her daughter, people were asking that. Patricia asked, do I feel like she was trafficking her daughter? If she was literally trafficking her, I would think she would be worried about telling police that information. It's just the whole situation's just I'm back and forth. I'm constantly back and forth because we don't know, right? To this point, police have not charged her with anything. They have not arrested her with anything. So we just don't know. But she also had no issue just being upfront with police and telling them, "Hey, yeah, they slept in the bed together. I told them to sleep in the bed together that night." Her birthday party evening, her birthday party that her mom didn't even attend. I can't imagine planning a birthday party for my child on a day that I couldn't be there.
I've got to tell you, it just made my heart stop. And I understand that you and Maddie's bio dad are reeling at the new information. Which aspect of the new information just released is the most concerning to you?
I think the biggest aspect has been the timelines that, we weren't, you're ready to hear, but you're never ready to hear. And so seeing those kind of layout and essentially a lot of my family and I, we haven't read through the documents, but I have seen quite a bit from social media, and it's just devastating. And the description of how she was found and just things of that nature, you're never ready to hear something like that, especially when it's somebody that you've watched grow up, and it's truly
And
devastating, all of
love.
it.
Teresina, everyone joining us is a special guest, Maddie's aunt, Teresina Niles. I don't think that you should be hard on yourself at all. Do you know, to this day, today, I have never gone to the scene where my fiance was murdered. Why? Because it would just put me back at square one. I'd start all over again. I mean, sometimes it's just too much to take in. I've just been thinking so.
Have a good day, Ramblin'. Yeah, Kimberly, you're right. She never checked in with her daughter, not with schooling, not with anything. It's just it's just hard to wrap your head around. I think It's hard to wrap my head around a lot of these cases whenever the parents are so disconnected from their children and that they just don't seem to have a care in the world. I mean, like there have been a lot of cases very recently that I, you just really have to stop and wonder. Yeah, it makes you wonder if she's just that clueless. Right, Maddie never told anyone either. No, and I get that. A lot of children who go through this never speak up to anyone. And I was talking about this yesterday. Again, if you didn't see my live stream yesterday, I suggest watching it. Um, but there are many, 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 many families, and I hate to say that go through this, that the children never speak up, whether the abuse is from a grandfather, an uncle, a cousin, a brother, a stepdad, a real dad. You know what I mean? This type of stuff does happen in homes, and it never gets parents, mothers, aunts. I shouldn't neglect to say females because we are seeing more and more often that it could be female predators too. You know, there are many, many homes that this occurs in that the abuse is never talked about, that the abuse is never uncovered, that nobody ever says a word. But typically in those homes, in my mind, it's happening in secretive times or secretive locations, and there's like threats not to tell and different things like that, and like the access shouldn't be there for the child, but somehow it happens, right? This isn't that. I mean, Jenn was putting her in the bed with him. She was telling him to go to sleep with her. We are going to read in one of these documents an ex-girlfriend of Stephan, say that he had talked about sleeping in the bed with Maddie and waking up with a Woody to his ex-girlfriend. Like, that's a huge red flag. Why did she never speak up for this teenage, at the time, this 10, 11-year-old girl? How do you allow un supervised access in a bed with your child to anyone, to any adult that's not their parent? And even if it is their parent, it's still, I don't know, it's borderline, right? It's borderline. Not making excuses for her, but it's hard for me to understand a mom knowing. And I get where you're coming from, BC, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, how could a mom know and not step in and not stop it and not do something for her? But then we look at cases like Kamari Holland, whose mom literally sold her, whose mom literally traded her. We look at the case with like the toddler from the hotel last year, where the mom literally gave her child to a man for drugs. And then he raped her and threw her into a pool. She wasn't 3, she was 18 months old. I know you guys have seen these cases and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, it happens a lot. Most child trafficking situations aren't kids who get picked up, aren't kids who get kidnapped or taken or stolen and then sold off into trafficking situations. Most child trafficking situations happen within inside of our own homes. Most child sexual abuse happens within inside of our own homes, inside of your own family. Most of the time, it's a relative or someone who knows the child, who is directly connected to the child. that are responsible for their abuse. And the fact that some of you guys are having a hard time wrapping your head around of it, a fact that a lot of us don't understand and we can't understand and we don't get it, that's a good thing. You don't want to understand the minds of these monsters. You don't want to be in the position where you're starting to think, oh, no, I could see that. Yeah, no, I can understand. I can understand exactly why. You don't want to be that person. If you're following true crime and you're starting to get to the point where you can understand the predator's side of things, you've been following too long. You've seen too many cases. The day that you start thinking like a monster, remove yourself.
Much about what I'm hearing is especially the allegation that Maddie was being molested by this guy as young as age 8. And I bet anything she never said a word to her dad about it.
No. We wouldn't be like, none of this would have happened if we even had an inkling. So it's I think that was another that was another thing from the documents. Once we saw how many other of her friends and people didn't know either, and we're just, it doesn't take the pain away or the guilt that's there, but it does show that like that nobody knew that closest to her, and it really is devastating other than the people that did know, I guess.
Miss Niles, did you guys have any idea that the mother was just basically sending Maddie off to sleep with
No.
the boyfriend at night?
Not at all. Not at all.
I just,
So all of
I
this
couldn't
is
take that
news.
in.
Mm-mm.
How is Maddie's dad reacting to all this? He must be devastated.
It's been difficult to just see my brother-in-law Tyler and my sister Tatiana just go through any of this, just because they loved her so deeply. And it's incomprehensible. I truly can't even find the words to convey the devastation that I'm witnessing and seeing and reading. It just makes everyone really sick, really, really, really sick.
I pray to God, Miss Niles, I pray to God that one mother out there and one father, especially dads who are not in the home, like when the parents are divorced or separated, hear this and understand what's happening in so many homes across our country. Guys, I want you to take a listen to more of what the mom says.
What was she last seen wearing?
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts? Okay. Black shorts. All right. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
This is part of the thing that I can't get over. Like, why did she lie to the police and say that she's seen her getting ready? That makes me wonder, because did she do it to try to protect Stephan? Did she think that they were going to blame Stephan? Did he convince her that they were going to blame her, so she had to lie for him? Because whenever they question her alone next time, she tells the truth. She hadn't seen Maddie since the evening before. Why lie about it? I don't know, Cray Cray. I've thought that. Was he messing with her in the bed? That's why Jenn couldn't sleep well? In what world would them two being in bed with you make that much of a difference? Was she scared of him? I don't know. I don't know. I know that he looked very intimidating during the interviews that they did on the news, sitting behind her, tapping his hand. He basically threw the chair, knocked it over, whatever you want to say. Was she scared of him? Right. Even when Stephan was gone, he and Maddie stayed in touch. Even after she broke up with him and Maddie stayed in touch. Okay. Why? I mean, we know now why. I don't know. The whole situation's just strange to me. It's hard. It's hard because I'm not Jenn. I don't know what Jenn knows. And I don't know what police know that Jenn's knows. Because every single press conference, they continue to say that the investigation is ongoing. Whenever they are asked directly if charges are going to be filed against Jenn, they don't give a straight answer. They don't say no. They just say that the investigation is ongoing. What does that mean? What are they investigating? Have they been able to get answers from her? Has she lawyered up, or is she we've wondered, is she in a mental health hospital? I just don't know. I just don't know. She encouraged her child to sleep in a bed with a grown man. Right. That's called a red flag. But you can't see red flags when you're too busy. Tried to date with rose-colored glasses on. When Jenn got mad at Maddie, she called Stephan. Yeah, they held that original interview back. You would really like to know the reason why they broke up so often. Right. See, and this is what I've questioned, Kimberly. Was she jealous that Maddie and Stephan had a super close relationship? Was she jealous that Stephan, according to Maddie's friends, which we'll read this in the documents at some point, according to Maddie's friends, Stephan was constantly calling and texting Maddie. They were in almost constant contact throughout the days. In almost constant contact with her. Why? Did it make Jenn jealous? You don't think she was scared of him? Right. Maddie and Stephan were more of a couple than Jenn and Stephan, and I agree with that. That, to me, Emily, too, is weird. Why plan Maddie's 13th? 13th is such an important birthday. 13, 16, those are like milestone birthdays. It's her first year being a teenager. Why would you plan a birthday party for your daughter? Or why would the family plan a birthday party for Maddie on a day that Jenn was unable to be there? I cannot fathom that. How can you do that? How can you have Maddie's birthday party on a day that you are at work? Was it a last minute, like, oh, I have to work? I would have moved the freaking birthday party. There's no way. I can't fathom that. And then we have reports, again, in these documents that we're going to read, that her friends, Maddie would tell her friends that her mom hated her, that she wanted her, or that she was going to disown her whenever she turned 18 and make her move out of the house. Like, there's all this different information in these documents about how bad and tumultuous their relationship really was. She wanted to be busy. Right. She wanted to be busy. She barely worked part-time. She was on disability. Why not be there for your daughter's birthday? I don't know. It's just a lot of red flags. And this is all stuff. This is part of why I didn't want to touch this case to begin with in the beginning, because to me, I was seeing this and I was seeing all these red flags and I'm thinking to myself, this poor mom is likely going through the worst day of her life, going through the worst situation that anybody could ever imagine, losing your daughter, and not just losing your daughter, but losing your daughter to the man that you loved. That is one of those unfathomable situations where she is going to blame herself and be guilty for the rest of her life in this situation in her own mind. She's going to attack herself in her own mind about all of this forever. And I didn't want to add to that. But then whenever these documents come out and I'm reading through it and I'm like, what? She sent him to bed with her? She sent them to the bedrooms together. She was behind putting her there. That to me, I just can't, I don't understand it. And now I can't help but ask the questions. Now I can't help but look at it and be like, how the heck? And think to myself, if other people are in this situation and you're living with someone and you're sending your child to go sleep unchaperoned with somebody, don't do it. Don't do it, because this could happen to your child. Because a child is likely not going to say something. Your child is likely not going to speak up. No matter how close you are, no matter how much you love your child, no matter how great you think your bond is, they're likely never going to speak up. They're likely never going to tell you that this is happening. Most children don't say something. So I feel like I have to say something. I have to talk about this case. I have to put this information out there, because what if there are more Maddies out there? What if there are more Jenns out there just lollygagging throughout life, completely freaking clueless, doing the bare minimum as a parent to be actively involved in your child's life and just skating by just enough? And leaving your kid in a situation like this. Wake up and smell the roses and pay attention. She doesn't deserve a proffer. Did they give her a proffer? You don't take 1,700 pictures of a, yeah, you take them with your girlfriend. How did she never see his phone? You never look at his text messages between your daughter and him that he was having unfiltered in front of you? Anyways, all right, I gotta go. I gotta clock in at work in 2 minutes. We will watch. Let me see. Is there more of this? No, this is over. Okay, so we'll get into the documents tonight. Lokamai and I will be live, and we will start on page 33 tonight with Lokamai. She also has the documents. I had sent them to her. So, and we'll see you guys at our normal time. I want to say, let's see, time switch has not happened yet. So I think we're at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. So, yep. In the 4th bedroom, there was a tripod and lotion. Did she never go up into that room in her own house? She was so uninvolved in anything going on in her own house where her daughter lived. Right? He wasn't living there. They were broken up and he showed up to stay the night with Maddie. She was home, though. He was coming there to sleep with her daughter, and she was home. She was home and knew that he was traveling there to sleep with Maddie. What? I can't. Anyways, all right, I will see you guys this evening. Thank you so much for coming in. I will talk to you all later, and have a good day. Bye.